All right, hello everyone. Can you hear me? Yes. Uh, Nice to be here. The topic is non-duality, and what gets studied is duality. And any interest in non-duality is probably going to reinforce duality. So let's question duality. Lose complete interest in non-duality, and then let's put interest into duality. Yeah. So you can understand mental activity. Can you understand everything? Can you know the incomprehensible? The yeah. No. So why not look at what is going on and see where it takes you? Instead of looking to produce something going on from that, look at what's going on. See what's going on there. And to me, you'll find this sense of being a long-lasting, independent, separate thing is just the image of the body. All else is dualistic. All else is subject objectness going up and down. Yeah. That what we are becomes an object to what we're not as the false subject. See, this is what non-duality negates. It negates the activity that we're going through right now. It's not some mystical or metaphysical understanding that you apply the great sweeps of the universal brush. You just look at what's happening right where you are. Yeah. Does it feel like uh, the seeing is attributed to that which can be seen? Yeah. When you say all you are is consciousness, how are you pictured? As consciousness or as a body? Yeah. That's the point. Yeah. Then it worked with me. That's all. I was looking at non-duality like I looked at everything else. Yet if you hear non-duality, it questions that way of looking. That's what it does. Yeah. And that was probably the greatest answer I've run into here. Yeah. It's in time, it seems to become the last answer because I have no interest in finding another answer because I have one. Yeah. I probably, if I didn't seem to have one, I'd probably be interested in finding one. But I lose all interest in finding one when I have one. Yeah. So if I am what I'm looking for, the deal's already been consummated. Yeah. The funny thing is, we keep believing we're going to arrive somewhere, and yet when we arrive there, it says on having never left. I don't understand why it doesn't get through. It's just amazing. If you worked really hard and you climbed, let's say 800 feet, and then you got to where you were thinking of wanting to get to, and as soon as you arrived there, it told you on having never left, wouldn't it cut down on your mountaineering and shit? I just really, I mean, isn't that what you hear at non-duality? You are what you're looking for. Yeah. Does that sound like a call to arms, or is it very disarming? I think it's very, very relieving because there's all this huffing and puffing of looking, and the looking doesn't work. So it's like you just keep changing glasses, but you see through the same thing. Yeah. You go to Buddhism, and then you go to this, and then you go to shamanism, and then you mix some of them up. You go to shamanic Buddhism and try to get the best out of this and mix it in. It's like a giant smorgasbord. Yeah, but the dilemma is how you're looking at everything through every one of the glasses you put on is the fundamental flaw, FLAW. Yeah, has nothing to do with it. It has to do with how we see through the glasses. Yeah. So that's what happened with me. It put everything to an end, and so I'm here. Yeah. I didn't get any other better offers today. So I'm here. I just keep putting it out there, see what happens. But I haven't answered a call to arms for years. It just freaking chilled out. The trumpet doesn't put me into attention. I don't get rigid and okay. I just see. Yeah, it's. How are you gonna know what stop is if you keep moving? Yeah, if the head keeps moving, looking, seeking, how are you gonna know what you need to know? You need to know you're not that which is seeking and looking. That's all. That's the beauty of it. Yeah, that which is agitated isn't you. And when you put yourself into that identification, then that which is agitated looks to become unagitated, which produces more agitation, doesn't it? Look at what has happened with the word awakening at these type of Zoom meetings. You were probably better off if you had never heard the word awakening. You'd probably have a better day because there wouldn't be any demand to become awakened or whatever. Yeah, you'd probably have a better day. And then you go to the word enlightenment. What has that done when people hear it from what they're not? It's one of the definitions is the cessation of all suffering, yet I see it causing suffering. Yeah? Don't you see something in that? Don't you see the word enlightenment, which means the cessation of all suffering, when entertained by what we're not, is used to produce suffering? Yeah. Did awakening bring you a disarming, chilled out, or was just another rung on the ladder to spiritual success? You felt you were fine, but then someone threw another rung called an awakening. And then, of course, you didn't feel like you were. So the climbing continues. And then you hit awakening, and then awakening isn't enough. There's true liberation, another rung. And then no liberation isn't enough. There's fucking liberation with equanimity. And then it's like on and on. All that's being supported is activity. Yeah. You can't use activity to produce stillness. That's activity. Yeah. You can't use thought and effort to arrive at that which doesn't demonstrate any thought or effort. Does consciousness demonstrate any thought or effort? It's just being conscious, yeah? We're somehow engaged with it. It brings us into contact with a lot of stuff. And unfortunately, or fortunately, the mental state gets brought into contact with a lot of stuff and immediately runs the story that it's the one that's in contact. Is it true or not? Is Sina conscious? Or is there consciousness appearing as Sina? Which is the way? It's very fundamental. I mean, it's almost as if it's it's the same highway, but one lane goes this way, one lane goes that way. It's either consciousness is appearing as something or that appearance is conscious. You don't see the huge difference in that? That's right from the get-go. It doesn't go, you don't have to, the great movement isn't at the 10-mile mark. It's right where it starts. There's an identification as something that we're not, to the point that what we are is looked at as a goal to arrive at. What we are, what's looking right now, is what we're looking for. Does that actually seem to be the case with us? No. We're constantly busily looking for it. Mm. So if you just look at the definition, if you've never been here, non-duality starts with not, N-O-N. There's nothing else around here that starts there. It's always Buddhism. This is not two. Yeah, not two. That's all. Does it say one in there? No. It says not two. Why? because the assumption is you are what you're looking for already. That doesn't need to be described. You're going to find out when you stop looking for it from what you're not. So let's look at what we're not. And when we see that, you find out what you are. Yeah. The only way you can find out what you are from what you're not is conceptual, obviously. You have ideas and pictures of how it would look or how I should feel, or my loving gaze should be at least 3 minutes or whatever. All of this comes up basically because we have no idea what's going on. So turn that and look at what is looking and see. Is that what you are? Is that which is what you're looking for, that which is looking? Yes. You believe it's Paul looking. This is what needs to be corrected. I believe Paul is conscious, but Paul is not conscious. Consciousness is appearing, let's say, as this action figure. Yeah. But Paul is not conscious. Yeah. Paul is a mental idea that gets reinforced all day by a mental narrative that's playing in our little audience, in our little theater up there. Yeah. And constantly it's attributing subjective qualities, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching, to an object, which is the body. That's the essence of non-duality. That subject objectness is what's being nodded. Yeah. You're seeing that's not true. And then that all bets are off. You find out what happens. Yeah. It's beautiful. We have a thing in recovery about a higher power. So to open it to a lot of people, they said, listen, you can have your own understanding of a higher power. Make it whatever you want. Yeah, just you need a higher power to live a daily life of recovery, free from alcohol and drugs. Okay? So after a while, you realize, why would I give an understanding to the higher power? I would rather have a higher power of its own understanding. Yes? Why would I want to have one of my understanding? It's sort of like, here's a giant vista and I want to put like a 2 by 2 foot window in. Yeah, that would be insane. Yes. So here we're just looking at what we're not. Yeah. All the seeing, the hearing, the feeling, the tasting, the touching, on some level it's happening, but does it really leave any mark, any footprints? It really doesn't, does it? It seems like everything falls off a cliff. You're just in the act of living. Yeah. And then when you go to sleep, it's all completely forgotten, seemingly. And then you wake up and it seems to gain traction. And then you go back to sleep. Yeah. And then we have an incredible example of what we're actually in, which is the dreaming at night. The only difference with the dreaming in the day is we don't have a morning for it. Yeah. The dreaming at night gets seen as a dreaming because we wake up in the morning. We don't have that morning built in. Yeah. This is the awake dream. We have to entertain certain possibilities to bring that morning into our life so that we wake up from this dream as if we waked up from the night dream. Yes? So non-duality to me is that morning that we need. Yeah? It gives you the understanding to recognize, in one sense, there's absolutely no difference between the dreaming at night and this dreaming in the day. Yeah? It's just that this is dreaming still. The night dreaming seemed to end, and now we have a new, that waking up in the morning gives us a complete, do you have to learn that dreamt tiger isn't scary when you wake up? Do you still have to sharpen your sword to fight it? As soon as you wake up, even though it had you scared to hell, as soon as you wake up, it has none of that power, does it? So where was the power to begin with? It was us, yes? We gave that dreamt tiger all the meaning it has because we saw it as a real tiger, because we saw this dreamt as a real, yeah? So this was lending a reality to that. When we wake up in the morning, then we see it. It stops, its influence stops like that. It doesn't, oh, I've been haunted all day by that. Not really. That tiger isn't scaring you anymore. No, this is the point for me. It's just a simple recognition, right? It's right available now. Just see it. Yeah. Is there an activity in the head that implies that you are the one who's conscious and you are pictured as a body? Is there a narrative in the head that says you're the doer of everything? And how is that doer pictured as a body? That you're the seer, the hearer, the feeler, the taster, the toucher. Yes? Conscious contact, seeing, hearing, feeling, tasting, touching. Unconscious interpretation, seer, hearer, feeler, taster, toucher. Is the seer essential or is the seeing essential? Can there be seeing without a seer? Can there be a seer without seeing? No. Maybe the mental state has shifted our starting point. We begin after square four, and then we read the whole game from square four, which is a misunderstanding. We're at the beginning. We're before all this. Yeah? Does the cloud ever arrive and there's not a sky? Does the cloud show up like it didn't call ahead and shows up and it catches no sky? So it's just whatever. I don't know what it would do. No. Does it? Yes or no? Check it out. Or do the clouds appear only because there is a sky? Tell you the truth. Without that space, they wouldn't have any place to appear in. Yeah. Yet in our mental state, we're busy completely identifying with the cloud and missing the idea of being the sky, or identifying with the character in the movie and having no sense that we could be the screen. Do you think you need to have an advanced study of something arcane and metaphysical when you don't see this? Remember, the head makes mountains out of molehills. The head distorts everything. It uses time like a house of one of those mirrors in the funny house. You look at it, and everything you see is distorted in it. Yeah, it's not your vision. So yeah, wouldn't it be nice to awaken together? Initially, being awake, wouldn't that be nice? That would afford an extra joy. We're all inherently awake, and we're going to awake together. That's nice. Yeah. What do you think satsang is? It's an association with truth. Yeah. We awake together for this hour, hopefully. Yeah. Is presence somewhere you arrive at? And is there a non-presence? Your feeling of not being present, isn't it held in presence? Even the complete, utter unknowing of presence doesn't mean there is no presence. When does presence start and when does it stop? Can I sit in something and then get up and leave something? Or is that presence all the while? Has there ever been a moment when there hasn't been presence? The head sure looks like it believes it. It believes it's not present most of the day. And then suddenly it convinces itself by doing something or having something that it's present, but only for a very, 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 very short bit of time with tons of requirements that usually you can't fulfill. So you fail at maintaining presence. Yes? And now you've been vanquished into non-presence. If you looked at the surveillance cameras, you haven't gone anywhere. Yeah. The message, non-duality basically is premised on being ourselves reality. If you don't believe that, then I don't know what to tell you. If you don't have an interest in that, I don't know what to tell you, because that's basically the assumption of the godfather of non-duality. Ramana Maharshi said the greatest mystery, being ourselves reality, is reality wanting to attain reality. I mean, argue with him if you like. Yeah. It's all right to do whatever's happening, but let's put the correct title on it, maybe. Yes? Yeah. You know what happens when it's not clear? You see the title, massage parlor, and you go in there, and then it may be one that has a happy ending, and you were just looking to get a back rub. You would want shatsu. You would have liked to have it been clearer. Yes. The idea of massage is a big umbrella. A lot of shit can appear in there. Yeah. Non-duality is nothing. It preaches nothing, it offers nothing, it demands nothing. It's basically saying you are what you're looking for. End of story. It doesn't say you can be what you're looking for. You once were what you're looking for, but you've been disqualified, and now, no, it says what's looking is what you're looking for. I don't know. And it says what's looking is what you're looking for, and it doesn't have the word but after that, which happens all the time at talks. Oh, I feel really incredible, but it didn't say being ourselves reality, but it just said being ourselves reality. What's looking is what we're looking for, but no, it didn't say but. Yeah. Yeah. And you know what? Nothing can fail here. If you are what I have a sense you are, you can be dreaming yourself out of the dreaming right now. And as you do, the dream will get happier. You can't lose. Yeah. So, all right. Thanks. Thank you, Sanya.
I just want to share something that happened while you were speaking. A couple different things that really felt like it was helpful. Will it be helpful? I don't know in the future, but I was like, what would it be like in this moment to listen without believing? And it just something just opened. And then like, what would it be like if I didn't believe the appearance? Like, that's in front of me. And it's really funny and interesting because you're using a picture and it really is an illusion because you're not really there. So it was perfect. It was a perfect symbol of we're looking at an illusion right now, because that picture, you're not sitting at a pond. That's a picture. The Zoom feature. And but I really appreciate the last part where you're saying about, dreaming yourself out of the dream, and then it becomes a happy dream. So that also made the heart relax and stop that vice grip feeling sensation right there in the center of the chest.
I want to share something with that. Listening and belief aren't diametrically opposed in that. There's listening, and then you see a belief arise. Yeah. It's when there's a belief and then you're listening, that's already prejudged in a sense. Yeah. But there's listening and an appearance of a belief. Yeah. The appearance of the belief doesn't change the listening. Listening happens. Yeah. Yeah.
Listening feels like it's that open sky you're talking about. It
Well,
has
it
a
is.
quality to it that feels very open. But when the believing attention comes in, it feels like it wants to contract and just like, well, I don't know
Well, yeah.
about that. And maybe that's not true. And it wants to dissect and say, compare it to other things. But I notice when I'm not trying to activate that part of my mind that wants to believe whether something is true or not, and I'm just listening. It's like listening without a filter.
Yes.
And then
Great.
it feels lighter. It feels not so heavy. And then I don't have to engage that part of my mind that has to know and has to figure it all out. And that feels really
Yeah.
good.
Yes. That's traveling lighter. That's an example of it. You were an illustrated example of it. That's traveling lighter. Yeah. The traveling lighter is really based on uh, the pecking order. So seeing, seer, yeah, not seer, seeing. Just that little switch, seeing, and then there's the idea of a seer, which is seen, instead of seer, presupposed before all the seeing. Yeah, it changes everything. So the seeing initiates a traveling lighter. The seer is going to add some weight to it. Yeah.
I want to share something else that happened that was kind of miraculous because it happened so quick. And I don't know if this has ever happened before, but it was kind of like, whoa. Is when you were talking about the tiger, I was imagining, okay, I woke up, but yet it's still a dream. And then this vice grip in the heart is just like that. It's a paper tiger. And then imagining it like a wet bag, you can just punch right through it. It's like a wet paper tiger. And then all of a sudden it was just like, poof. It's like, where did it go? So
Great.
that was
Well,
kind of neat. And that just happened. So
great.
that was
Well,
neat. And Chris has its hand up. Chris is wanting to ask something or share.
Michael Stacy is there. He's in the house. Chris, yes.
Is it question time? I don't even have a
It's
question. I just want
question
to,
time. It's never question time.
exactly. I just want to share something. I went to this pond this weekend and I was sitting by the pond, just kind of relaxing. And it's funny that for the first time, I had this feeling. Well, feeling is the wrong word. It's more of a certainty. I know this sounds kind of cliched, but I didn't ask to feel this. It's just, I suddenly seemed like I was the space and everything, including me, was happening in it. And it was so really obvious, especially with sounds. There's something about sounds that I felt like a blank, like a blank, and stuff was happening in this blank. And I came home and I was then recalling being there. And in my mind, it's like a movie where I'm seeing myself like in third person, which I did not see when I was there. See myself walking around, and I had such a clear realization that it wasn't me. And then then at that moment when I was like kind of back to first person, I still had that feeling that that's the first time I've ever had that the body isn't me, because I can see it. It's in me, not the other way around. So it was cool.
It won't be the last time, bro.
Yeah.
It won't be. Yeah. Yeah. This is sort of like the horse is before the cart.
Yeah.
Now, the way we saw it was the cart was before the horse. And
Yeah.
then when you see it in its true condition, yeah,
Inside out.
it seems like the horse is now in front of the cart, but it's always been that way. Yeah. Yeah, you're just getting a free sample, which is nice.
Yeah. I mean, it's so obvious that it can't be the other way.
Yeah, it is so obvious, Ken.
It's,
And then you lose interest in these things and you just travel lighter. Because
yeah,
even interest in realization is heavy after a while.
it is for
Yeah.
me, for sure.
Yeah. Because, you know, I remember with the epiphany events, you would have like a drawn out period of no Paul, let's say. And then uh, it would always coincide with a line of thoughts, which was, I'm having an epiphany. Then immediately the epiphany was stuffed like a wild animal above your mantle. And now it's sort of like went on your little spiritual sport case or whatever. Yeah.
Like when Wile E.
I had
Coyote
an
realizes
epiphany
he's
in
floating
Bali
in space.
under a waterfall. Mm. And so, yeah. So you just see it. It doesn't, it's not you. See, what you think is going to change is just going to be lost interest in. It doesn't change much, the head.
I get that.
It's just a moving away from it. You're not going to, it's got like a preset programming. It's
Yeah.
not going to be programmed by the stars, so to speak.
Yeah, it's like
It
a
isn't.
wind-up toy.
Yeah, so don't, if you feel that you're the doer of that or as that doer, then there's a lot of possibilities are withheld. If you see it as mechanical, you won't spend another second waiting for it to change to be what you already are. Yes?
It's ironic because it's so obviously mechanical, and that's why we get so frustrated with it, because no matter what we do, it just keeps doing the same thing. Oh, there come those thoughts again, just like they always do.
Exactly. But the reason why, in a sense, is there's this vague sense of volition or choice that we think we're before it and is actually doing it. Yeah, which clouds the whole thing. That's why we attempt to put it out there as mechanical, because it is. Yeah, it just is. It's mechanical. You haven't done it. You're not selfing. You're, you're, you're not the one. So,
Right. I felt like I was watching
yeah.
a movie of me.
Yeah, well, there you go.
It was a kind of not a really interesting movie, but it's a very familiar one. Oh, there he goes doing that thing that he always does.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I mean, seriously, like they say, old dogs can't learn new tricks. You know, he just sort of just it's not going to transform itself into the chariot of the gods. You know, it's just not. It's not. It doesn't have a secret rocket to the fourth dimension. It's just basically of this event, this dreaming. It's of this dreaming. Yeah.
All right, thank you. I hope your back's feeling better, Paul.
Oh, yeah, yeah. I hope so too.
Thank you.
Paul, I just had a little insider. No, wait, I'm claiming. Forgive me in advance. You said that we're not the ones selfing. Well, that makes sense now with the Course in Miracles where it says we're not guilty.
Well, of course, you're not doing it.
That's the whole link up. That's the whole thing. If we're not selfing, that's why we're not guilty. And by the way, Deborah has her hand up.
A sign is just firing off like, you know, the volcano. All right, Deborah, what's going on? We can't hear you.
Oh,
right.
Can you hear me? Okay,
Yeah.
thanks. I've just been feasting on what you said about the panoramic and the myopic view has really helped. And what helped was you said the myopic can't see the panoramic, but
Yeah.
the panoramic can accept the myopic in the panoramic. It's kind of like, to me, it's like the wave upon the ocean, like the wave's part of the ocean, but the wave takes itself as being more than it is or something, you know. I
Well,
don't know if
actually, less
that's
than it is,
clear.
really. It takes itself less than it is. It
Right,
just
right. That's
has a
right.
little
Yeah.
wave instead of the ocean. Yeah.
Yeah. Uh, so that really helps. It's like it's an appearance. It's just all an appearance in a
Well,
sense.
the myopic view is myopic, so it's
Right.
not inclusive. It doesn't include. It excludes. Yeah. So
It's like tunnel vision.
yes, exactly. So, but the panoramic, its nature is not of that nature. So it's not trying to accept. It's accepting because it's spacious. Yeah. So
Right,
get to see. Hopefully, you get to see the myopic view from a larger view instead
right,
of trying to enlarge the myopic view. You see the myopic view from a larger view. Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah. I can see it now. I my my left hip. You know, when I got run over, my body got all twisted. Yeah, so one side of my body's higher than the other side, like the hips, and so the hip had a bad night, and then Monday morning it was very bad. Like I haven't felt that pain in a while, and I was like, if I stood up, it was like I was going to pass out. Now I saw the myopic view around the this body condition, yeah, but as the larger view. But the myopic view was playing. Now, if the myopic view, which was the only thing playing, it would probably have its way, so to speak. But because it's appearing in a larger space, it gets right sized somewhat. Yes. So we have these examples all day. All day, we're seeing from the panoramic view, and we're listening to a myopic narration. Really, that's what's happening. The panoramic view is how we see. How we look is a myopic view, and it's constantly reporting in. Yeah, so it has its own fucking little news channel of the myopic view, and unfortunately, we've gotten into the habit of hearing it. Yes, yes. So, but there isn't a panoramic myopic. We use that to offset something. It's a panoramic view. Yeah, it's seeing. So that's always before everything. But the myopic view uh, has the net of a story. Yes. So the myopic view uh, is what's being told all day. That story. Yes. But what the seeing of it is the panoramic. Yes. Yeah. The idea of the myopic view getting rehabilitated, I'm not a believer in that. I just seeing that it's not you is a seeing from the panoramic, really. So you don't need to look for the panoramic. By seeing the myopic view as a myopic view is the panoramic view.
Right.
Yeah, yeah. So you get your own example right there and then. You may miss it because you're waiting to see it in a box of evidence, but you've just had the sense of it. Yeah. The only way
Right.
you come to any really clear understanding of the myopic view is from the panoramic view. It's just that simple. Yeah. So, yep.
Thank
Good.
you.
Good to see you. Yeah, I'm happy things add up. Yes.
Well, it's enjoying the effect of it's not affecting. There's not as much effect of it, and the ability to laugh at it is to me a part of the fruits of that, in a
Yeah.
sense, for me. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. All right. Thanks.
Thank you.
Hey, Paul, Bruce has his hand up.
Bruce.
Hey, hi everyone. Thanks for meeting. You can hear me? Everything's okay?
I think so. Yes.
Okay. You know, sometimes you mention about that fellow waiting for dinner to be served and,
Yes.
you know, maybe catching a smell, you know, and then turning around, having a seat. And I think
Yeah.
of the way, well, especially that I eat since I eat alone, yet thinking of the Last Supper, where there was kind of like a head at the table, and how that would feel, each individual paying attention rather than remember me not, remember me not. It's more of the breaking of bread. And I have had experience, you know, family Thanksgivings and stuff, where there was literally a breaking of the bread of life, or, you know, or a sharing in the message. Anyway, I just putting it out there. I don't know if you have any thoughts on it. Thanks, Paul, and thanks everyone for meeting and allowing me to be me.
Thanks, Bruce. No, I don't have anything to add to that. So maybe some butter,
Yeah, and some garlic.
olive oil, stuff like that. Maybe. Yeah.
Thanks.
You're welcome.
I can't believe it's not butter. If anyone has any questions, we have a few minutes left. We have 10 minutes. If you want to put up your virtual hand, you could do so by activating your Zoom toolbar.
My
Click on
virtual
it.
hand.
Yeah, you know the drill. Chris. Go for it, Chris.
I just have a story to share that I think Paul's going to appreciate. When you say we are what we're looking for, I heard this is actually a true story. It happened a few years ago. It was a tour bus somewhere in Scandinavia, I think. 20 people on the bus. They stop at a diner and they eat and they get back on the bus. And one of the women on the bus had like changed her outfit. So when she got back on the bus, they started driving along. The tour guy was like, "Hey, where's this woman?" They thought that they left someone behind. So they started this search, trying to find this woman that they lost from the tour bus. Helicopters, the whole deal.
Oh, really?
The woman herself was looking for this missing woman. And then at some point when they were finally describing her, she goes, "Oh, it's actually me. I'm the one that I'm looking for." I thought you'd appreciate that.
That's a good one. That's a good one, like the necklace story from Ramana Maharshi.
Yeah, exactly.
I may have to update that to that one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. She'll be busy looking for herself.
And then just what it must have felt like at that moment.
Yeah. Yeah.
She was looking for this woman that never existed, kind of, or didn't.
Yeah, it's crazy, man. Yeah. Yep.
Just wanted to share that.
That was good. I like that one. I'm going to steal that one, I think.
Oh, that was great, Chris. I adored that. Perfect. Anyone else?
Can you hear the chimes here?
No, not today.
Oh, you
Strangely.
can't. Wow. Sorry. They're going off beautifully.
Carrie?
I hear him in Arkansas.
Oh,
I just
good.
turned out. I don't have anything to say, but the chimes are going right outside my door, so I thought I'd unmute, but that's all I had. I can hear my chimes.
Great.
Chiming
Yeah, I
in
can
the
hear.
chimes. Angie has her hand up.
Oh, Angie, yes.
Hi, hi, Paul. Hi, everyone. Just to add another story because it seems like it's a storytelling night here. So this one is from Australia, and this lady visited the crocodile farm, and one of the crocodiles she pulled her purse through the fence and swallowed it whole. And she complained to the management that she had all this jewelry in the purse and all this money and a lot of valuables in the purse, and she asked for a sort of compensation for that. And then the thing is, the crocodile eliminated the purse in in the same state as it swallowed it, and there was none of that gold inside. So she found her purse, but yeah, she found nothing in the end. She didn't get anything out of that.
But it would have been funny if it was one of those alligator purses.
Yeah,
That would have
yeah.
been.
Alligator swallowing its own baby or
There you
something.
go. But she saw it. She saw a possibility, so she took advantage of it.
Yeah, yeah.
Got nabbed. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's one of those examples when she didn't find what she was looking for.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
She expected a lot more out of nothing.
Well, yes. Well, that's good. I may use that one too. All right. Anyone else? Nice to see you, Angie. You're looking. You're smiling a lot. That's good.
Yeah, so does Chris.
Yeah. That's very good.
Smiling and laughing. Good to see that.
Anyone else here? You want to start saying goodbye, Saina?
Sure, that'd be great.
Don't get
Yeah,
that
we got a
excited.
good crowd here tonight. We have 31, so it probably will take a bit.
I'll skip over a few of them. Yeah. So let's see. We got Saina. Thank you for the service, honey. You're on a tight ship. It's pretty good. Yeah. We got let me see if I can make this name out. Ruby. Ruby, nice to see Ruby there. We got Mia from undisclosed location, Andy Walker, Zoe. I forgot yeah, never mind. Nice to see you, Zoe. Lucas, as always. Angie, smiling away. Haley, yeah. Bruce. We got Kelly, there she is. Kelly and Deborah. We got Jacqueline, she's thinking about past decisions there. What should I have done? We got George. We got Donate Here is here again. Very persistent. Doesn't give much, but expects a lot. We've got Kerry listening to his chimes. Pass a nice hello to Judith from Amelia and I. Connie, yeah, there she is, sitting outside. Yep. Stuart, feeling better in Oz. Yeah. There's Anu. Anu did a great job with the meeting the other day. Thank you, Anu. Sherry, nice to see you. Kathleen G, confused and happy. There you go. Who would have thought that confusion leads to a great happiness? Guess what gets confused ain't you. That's the good news. Yeah. Tie it up in knots. Yes. Yeah. It's not delivering the goods. Needs to be fired. Yeah. All right. We've got Bill B. Bill C. Looking comfy. Cheers, Chris. Nice to see you, Chris. Yeah. It's after a while you won't be surprised, but you'll still be amazed at traveling lighter. Yes. But you won't be surprised. Yeah, it all lines up. Yeah. Yeah. Why things aren't happening is because of something, and why things are seen in another way is because of something. Yes. It's just, yeah. We've got, let's see. Oh, I saw Andy already. I got this one, Jacqueline. Meg, looks like she's in a jail cell here. She's got the bars. We're going to get you out of there, Meg. Don't worry. Yeah, we're going to put out another appeal. We've got, I don't know where I am now. Let's see. I think I caught everybody. If I missed you, oh no, here's some more. We got Jimmy, he put a new one. There was never a parade to be rained on. Yeah, there you go. Susie K, she gets my lattes for me. Ann B, Michael Stacy, Joy. Yep. Yeah. Hey, listen, thank you everyone, and we'll see you, some of you tomorrow or whenever. Zen Bitch Slap event page gives you all the up-to-date things that are going on. All right. So thanks. Thank you. Thank you,
Thank you,
everyone.
Paul.
See you, Angie. See everybody. Yep.
Thanks, Paul.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.